Hello, hello, hello. Hi everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Hola a todos. Bienvenidos a un nuevo en vivo. ¿Cómo están? Espero que estén muy bien. Today we are going to talk about possessive adjectives. And we're going to talk about the short forms because there are two types of possessive adjectives. And today we're going to talk specifically about the short forms. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. And if you are here, you can use the live chat right now. And I see Maria Grazia Boccolini is on the live chat saying, hola profesora desde la madrugada de Roma, siempre al pendiente. Hola María, bienvenida, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Saludos hasta Roma. And if you have any questions, you can use the live chat, of course. And I want to give a big shout out to our members, to our Cafecito members, William Lopez, David Beaver, and KS. Thank you guys. The support is greatly appreciated. And if you like what I do, you can also get a membership. You only need to click on the join button down below. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, we are going to talk about possessive adjectives. And I believe possessive has, four S's in that word. So yeah, I believe so. Just let me know if that's correct. I see Cowboy Troy. Gracias, Sugar Astronaut. Hello, Cowboy Troy. Welcome. And yes, we're going to talk about possessive adjectives. What are they? How can we use them? And they're not too difficult to use, but you need to follow some rules, okay? So you have to learn some vocabulary and you have to learn how to use that vocabulary. So as I said a few seconds before, we're going to talk about short forms. There are two types, short or unstressed forms. That's the same thing. Or long or stressed forms. So that's the second one. The first one, short forms or unstressed forms. And the second one is long forms or stressed forms. So they have like different names, but essentially we're talking about two different types. So possessive adjectives are words that are used instead of articles. Okay, definite articles like el, la, los, las, or indefinite articles like un, uno, unas, unos, and so on. So you can use possessive adjectives instead of those in specific situations. Okay? And possessive adjectives indicate to whom or to what something belongs. Okay, we're talking about, for example, things. You have belongings, people have belongings. So if you want to refer to those things, you can use possessive adjectives. As I said before, there are two types. We're going to talk about the short forms. Okay, and in the next video or live stream rather, we will talk about the long forms. Okay, so this is part one essentially, and there will be a part two. KS is in the house. Hello, KS. Me alegro de volver a verte. Hola, KS. Bienvenido. And let's move on. Now, we're going to learn all the possessive adjectives, the short forms. There are singular, there are plural, there are masculine and feminine. Not all of them can be, like some of them are just the same. There's only singular and plural. Some of them have like singular, plural, masculine, feminine. So yes, it gets a little complicated, but it's not too complicated. As long as you remember how to use all the possessive adjectives, you're gonna be fine. So there's gonna be a quick test at the end of this live stream. So we're gonna test your memory for sure. So please just remember all the possessive adjectives. Okay, so oops, what is happening? There you go. Let's learn the first one. The first one in English, my, that's a possessive adjective. In English, you would say my. For example, my books, my house, my car, okay? In Spanish, you can say me. So it's very similar. My, me, me. So that means my. There is no masculine or feminine, so you can just say mi casa. Remember that when we're talking about nouns like casa, that is feminine. So that means that you have to think of the noun. Is it feminine? Is it masculine? For different possessive adjectives. Just keep that in mind. But in this situation, me works with masculine and feminine nouns, okay? And usually, well, all the time, you have to use the possessive adjective before the noun. For example, mi casa, okay? Casa, once again, that's a noun. Mi, a possessive adjective. So it could work for masculine and feminine nouns. For example, libro, el libro, that means book, that's masculine. You can say mi libro, my book. Or if you use a feminine noun like casa, la casa, you can also say mi casa, mi libro. My house, my book. Okay, so that works. That's good. And that's singular, guys. Just singular. We're talking about one house. We're talking about one book. Okay. Now, there's a plural form of my in Spanish. So you can say mis, and that's the same, masculine and feminine nouns. You gotta use mis, okay? Now, let's say we're talking about books. We're not talking about one book. We're talking about two books or more. You can say mis libros. Mis libros. That's the correct way to say my books, okay? And let's say that's masculine. Books, masculine. Los libros. Now, feminine. Casas. Casas, that means houses. And you can say mis casas. Mis casas. My houses, okay? So that's quite easy. Just remember that me means my, and there is a singular form and a plural form. Singular, me, plural, mis. Okay? So that's easy. Now, what happens if you want to say your house, your book? How would you say this in Spanish? So the possessive adjective would be tú. Tú means your, as in, your book, your house, your car, okay? Tú. And we have the same situation as me. We don't have a masculine or feminine tú. We have just one, okay? Tú. Remember, when you're using masculine and feminine possessive adjectives, you gotta think of the noun. Okay, what are we talking about? Books, houses, cars, one book, two books, etc. Okay? So, tú means your. Tu casa, tu libro, your house, your book. Okay? And same thing, masculine and feminine, the same thing. Tú. Now, tus is plural, okay? And also, you don't need to worry about the grammatical gender. You don't have to worry about, oh, should I use a masculine form or a feminine form? It's the same thing. Tus means your, but it's plural. And we have tus, masculine, feminine, the same thing. Tus libros, your books, okay? Or tus casas, your houses, okay? So just keep that in mind. There is a singular and plural your in Spanish. And you don't have to worry about the grammatical gender. Now, the next one is tricky because this one can be used if you want to say his, her, or your. Okay? His, her, your. Now, this possessive adjective is su, su casa, su libro. Okay? And the same thing. We don't have feminine or masculine. The same thing for singular. Su libro. You could be saying his book or her book or your book. Okay? And this your is polite or formal. We're talking about usted, okay? So it's like the equivalent of that. It's very formal. If you say tú, it also means your, but it's more informal, okay? This one is informal, and this one here is formal. Tú informal, su formal. When talking about your book, your book, your house. And yes, it also, you could be saying his or her book. So it's quite tricky. So I recommend specifying more if you're saying, if you're referring about his or her or your. Depends on the situation, right? So it's all about what are you saying? What do you want to say? But anyways, let's move on. There's also a plural form, sus libros, sus casas. Okay? And if I'm saying sus casas, for example, I'm saying his houses, her houses, or your houses. Okay? If I'm saying sus libros, I'm saying his books, her books, or your books. Okay? So su is singular, sus is plural. And don't worry about feminine or masculine for that one. Once again, that means his, her, or your. Now, let's talk about the next one. Our. Or our. Yeah, our. Our book, our house, and so on. So, for this one, you gotta say nuestro. It gets complicated right here because now we have masculine and feminine, and we also have plural. Okay? So our means, or nuestro means our. Nuestro. That's masculine and singular. Nuestra is feminine and singular. Okay? So, for example, you can say nuestro libro or book. Nuestro libro. So you have to pay attention to the noun. In this situation, libro is the noun. El libro, that's masculine. Therefore, you have to use nuestro. Nuestro libro. Okay? So that's this one, our book. Nuestro libro. Now let's use a feminine noun like la casa. That's feminine, la casa. You can say nuestra casa or house. Nuestra casa or house. So that's again feminine and singular. So just keep an eye on that. You have to really pay attention to what you're talking about. Now, we have a plural form as well. Nuestros. Nuestros is masculine and nuestras is feminine. For example, nuestros libros or books. Okay? Nuestras casas, our houses. So once again, we have masculine and feminine, and it's also plural. So you have to match everything accordingly, okay? Are you talking about something that is feminine? Is it a feminine noun, masculine noun, plural, singular? So you have to pay attention to that. The next one is your, and this one is plural, okay? You're talking about to a group of people, okay? For example, your house. You're talking to your parents, for example. Your house. It's your house. Es su bueno. Bueno, I said bueno. That's it. It's plural, and also this one is used in Spain. Okay, so it's similar to vosotros. Just imagine that you're talking about a group of people, vosotros, and you have to use some possessive adjective. And if you want to say your plural in Spain, you would have to say vuestro. Vuestro. Vuestro means your, and it's also used in Spain. Once again, just in Spain, and it's also you're talking to a group of people, okay? Something that belongs to a group of people. This year is more singular. You're talking about just one person, and this one over here as well, okay? But this one here, this one is plural. Like you're talking to a group of people, and it's also used in Spain. For example, you can say vuestro libro, and that means your book. Okay, maybe a group of people owns one book in that situation. So you need to say vuestro libro, okay? Or just vuestro something else. And that's masculine and singular. There's a feminine form as well. Vuestra. Vuestra is singular and feminine. So you can say vuestra casa. Okay? So if you're visiting someone, some family, you can say vuestra casa es bonita. And that means your house is beautiful. Okay? And once again, you're talking to the family, to the entire family in this situation, not just one person. Now, there is a plural version of vuestro, and that's vuestros, vuestros, and the feminine form, vuestras, vuestros, vuestras, vuestros libros, your books, okay, vuestras casas, your houses. And yeah, all of that is from Spain. It's used mainly in Spain, and I would say only in Spain. And yeah, if you're interested in that, you can learn that for sure. There is a version for Latin America that is used in Latin America, and that is su. Okay, very similar to this one here that we saw. Okay, so it's pretty much the same one. And su can also mean their and your. And we're talking once again to a group of people. It's plural, okay? Something belongs to a group of people. Or two people, more than one person. Okay, so you could say su casa or su casa, su libro, for example, right? And we don't have feminine form. There is just one, masculine and feminine. So if you notice, su is very versatile because you have it up here for those words over here. It means his, her, your. And you also have it here. And that can mean also their and your. So it depends on what you're saying for sure. There's only a plural form, sus. Sus libros, sus casas. Okay, so that's the same thing. Very easy, very easy. Nothing complicated. So I would say the only challenge here is knowing the singular and plural versions and also the feminine and masculine if you want to say or your from Spain. So this one you have to pay attention to feminine and masculine, these two, and the rest is just, singular and plural. And these two, this one here and this one here, the same thing. So that's good. It's not that complicated. That's something good. That's the trick. I see Michael Wellen. Hello, Michael. Thank you for joining us. Bienvenido. And now, guys, let's do something together. Let's do some test. Okay? So there's no complications here. We just have two different phrases. One is singular, one is plural, and we're pretty much saying this is book. This is blank book. Okay? Oops, again. What's going on? This is blank libro, book. Okay? And we have this one. Estos son, these are blank libros, books. So one is singular, the other one is plural. Now, we have to find the correct possessive adjectives that we just learned. Okay, so we have those over here. You can see that in English. And let's just do it together. The first one right here. Este es my libro. So how would you say that? What possessive adjective do we need here? Michael, you're correct. And he gave me the plural and singular answer. So yes, that's correct. Este es mi libro. Este es mi libro. Okay? And right here, oops, what's happening? Mis libros. So we have este es mi libro. That means this is my book. And estos son mis libros. These are my books. Okay? So perfect. Good job, Michael. And also KS. Now, the next one. Este es your book. This is your book. Or estos son. I was going to say the possessive adjective. Sorry. Estos son your books. Or your libros. These are your books. So how would you say that in Spanish? What is the possessive adjective that we need? Your. How do you say your in Spanish? Do you remember? Me is quite easy because, me, mis. Your. How do you say it? Okay, nice dog. Nice dog 1 says tú. Michael says tú. Remember, there's a difference between tú with an accent mark and tú without the accent mark. If you put the accent mark, that means you, not your. Okay? If you don't put the accent mark on the letter U, that means your. Okay? So, este es tu libro. This is your book. Okay? And the plural one, Maria Grazia Boccolini is correct. Este es tu libro. Estos son tus libros. So we need that answer here. Excellent. Estos son tus libros. These are your books. Okay, so good job, guys. That was perfect. That was perfect. Now, let's do the next one. Remember, tú, your, tus, your as well. The first one is singular. The second one is plural. Okay, now, este es his, her, or your libro. or no, the other one is also estos son his libros, her libros, or your libros. So this one is the one that is very repetitive. It's used quite often, and it's very versatile. Nice dog says su. Perfect. Este es su libro. Okay? So you're pretty much saying this is his book, or this is her book, this is your book. Okay? Your, polite your. And the plural one, just like Maria is saying, estos son sus libros. Estos son sus libros. Estos son sus libros. And that means these are his books, or her books, or your books. Okay? Su singular, sus plural. Remember, we always have to pay attention to the noun. In this case, libro. Is it masculine, feminine, singular, or plural when using possessive adjectives? Okay, now the next one. Good job, guys. You're doing excellent. Now the next one, este es or libro. This is our book. Or why am I saying or? Then the other one is estos son or books. Okay, so which one? Which possessive adjective do we need to say or book or books? Okay. Excellent. Nice dog 1. Nice dog 1. It's been a while, nice dog 1. I remember you leave really good comments in videos, and it's been a while. It's nice to read you. Okay, nuestro. You are correct. Nuestro libro. Este es nuestro libro. Este es nuestro libro. This is our book. And you can also say, estos son nuestros libros. Estos son nuestros libros. These are our books. Okay? So remember, if you have a feminine noun, let's say we have, I want to say a different feminine noun other than casa, because I've said casa a lot. I I don't know. Can you tell me a feminine noun, guys? Let's see. Feminine noun. Let's say comida, okay? Food, la comida. That's a feminine noun. So you would have to say esta piscina, pandemia. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's use piscina. Piscina. Esta es nuestra piscina. This is our pool. Piscina means pool. I say alberca. That's a different way to say pool in Spanish. Alberca is, I think that's used in Latin America more than piscina. But yeah, either one, I mean, it means the same thing. Esta es nuestra alberca. This is our pool, you know, if you want to swim. Or you can also say estas son nuestras piscinas. In this case, well, the same thing, the same noun. Estas son nuestras piscinas. These are our pools. That would be nice to have more than one pool. I think if I had one pool, that would be like amazing. Just one. I don't need more than one. But yeah, I don't have any pool, sadly. Anyways, so yes, that's great, guys. You did an excellent job. Now the next one. Este es, we're saying you're from Spain, okay? And we're also talking about or to a group of people. Este es your book. How would you say it? Remember, in Spain, and also you're talking to a group of people. Also, we can guess the possessive adjective if you want to say something plural, like libros. Estos son your libros. Okay? Same example. Vuestro. Ajá. Este es vuestro libro. Este es vuestro libro. This is your book, guys. You forgot your book, guys. Here it is. Este es vuestro libro. This is your book. Okay? So that's excellent. Nice dog one. Now, the plural form. Vuestros libros. Exactly, Michael. You got it. Ajá. So, estos son vuestros libros. Estos son vuestros libros. Excellent. Now, if we have, now let's say comida. La comida, that's feminine. And, well, I think alberca, let's use alberca, because comida, that can be, I mean, usually you say comida when you're talking about food in general. So, because we're talking about we're talking about singular and plural, I think alberca or piscina works best. Okay, esta es vuestra piscina. Okay, so it's crazy how you gotta match everything, because when we're talking about feminine and masculine, you have to use feminine adjectives, feminine articles, and so on. So it's crazy. Esta es vuestra piscina. This is your pool. Okay? And piscina, piscinas. Estas son vuestras piscinas. So that's feminine, guys. That's feminine. So remember, that's tricky because if we're talking about something masculine, something plural, something feminine, you gotta match. You gotta find the correct possessive adjective. Vuestra alberca, vuestras albercas. Yes, correct. Correct, guys. Now, the last one. This one is easy because, do you remember I said this is the same one as the other one that we saw before? So, what is the possessive adjective that we need if we want to say their or your? Este es their or your book. Estos son their or your books, libros. So which one? Very easy. Very easy. Do you know? Do you know, guys? Su libro, sus libros. That's correct. Este es su libro. Estos son sus libros. So, yeah, you're right, Michael and KS. Este es su libro can also mean this is their book or your book. Okay, and we're talking your plural. Your is very similar, or this your is very similar to vuestro. Vuestro and su are very similar, but vuestro from Spain, su in Latin America. Okay? And the plural form, estos son sus libros. These are their books, or these are your books. Okay? So, yeah, that is crazy, guys. It's crazy, but you did an excellent job. You guessed everything correctly. So I'm really proud of you. Okay, so do you have any other question about this? Remember, we're going to have a part 2 where we're going to talk about the long forms, possessive, long form, possessive adjectives. These were only the short ones. And we're going to talk about de as well in a different lesson, because all of that is about, talking about possessive adjectives and so on. So do you have any questions? Any questions at all? If you want, you can take a screenshot of this. I don't know if you did that already, but if you know how to take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot of this. And you can just have the information right there. All the possessive short form possessive adjectives. What's going on? I can't speak today. But tuyo and suyo. Yeah, that's the long forms. Okay, yes? Tuyo, suyo. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Michael says, qué genial es esta lección. Yes. Lección sounds like it's masculine, but it's actually feminine. La lección. Isn't it crazy? Oh, boy. But thank you so much, Michael. And thank you, everyone, for being here, for participating, for guessing all the possessive adjectives. It was very fun. And next week, next Tuesday, we will talk about the long form possessive adjectives. So if you're not subscribed yet, please do that. And also activate that notification bell so you can get notifications every time I live stream And yeah, you can just talk to me. You can learn more Spanish. You can ask questions, and that's great. And another thing you can do is you can join the Discord server or community or Spanish community. If you are interested in that, you can find the link to that server in the video description down below. It says just Discord, and you can find the link. It's free, guys. So if you want to chat with me and more people who are learning Spanish, you can do that. You don't have to wait until next Tuesday. You only have to click on that link down below. And that would be it. It was so nice to read you guys. De nada, Maria. De nada, nice dog 1. Señora, that sounds very, very formal. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Remember that I live stream every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So you know, just letting you know. Take care of yourself. Have a lovely evening. Be safe. And I'll see you next time. Adios. Bye-bye.